Assalamualaikum. Welcome back. So, as I promised, we'll discuss about the case, some cases. Okay? This is the case study, but that involve some steady performance of some of the most renowned aircraft in the world and birds. Okay, let's start with the birds. These are lists basically comparative performance between various types of birds. Okay, from white-rumped swift, okay, pigeon, goose, frigate bird, Eurasian hobby bird, common swift, your falcon, eagle, and falcon, Brazilian falcon. So if you can see that these three highest or the fastest flying birds, the an eagle type, it's basically the bird with talent. Okay, bahasa Melayu jenis macam elang lah. Okay, elang. So if you look at it, it became from 209 kilometer per hour to Brazilian falcon is almost 400 kilometer per hour. That's really fast. I think falcon will be the fastest bird or the fastest animals in the world. Okay. The second one is if you look at this is the aircraft during the Second World War. Uh, in the Second World War, I think this is possibly the oldest type. It's the Hurricane Mark One. Okay, first flew in 1938. Um, okay, or maybe the 1938 version of it. It can fly maximum of 324 mile per hour maximum with a range of 322 kilometer per hour. And 1939, the German one. This is a British one. Okay? The German is ME-109E. Okay? The 1939 version can fly slightly faster at 354 kilometer mile per hour, but it has a short range. I can see clearly it is also smaller than the previous British aircraft. Okay? I think it carries less fuel. But this is the early time of World War II, and this time basically World War II does not come to our country yet during the time. Okay, this was the war in Europe. During the invasion, okay, German invasion of Britain in 1940s, there is a legendary aircraft we call Spitfire. This is Mark II-B, which is the earlier version, the earliest, one of the earliest version of Spitfire aircraft. It is a little bit faster than ME-109. Okay, ME stands for Messerschmitt. It has also almost twice the range. Not only because it is slightly bigger than the German airplane, but it has incorporated a very efficient wing, what we call elliptical wing, okay, which is very efficient and allows it to fly farther, okay, and a longer endurance. But it wasn't the fastest plane during the time because the British also invented what we call Mosquito, which incorporates all the features of the Spitfires, but it has two engines and it is a much larger airplane. Um, Mosquito is basically a long range interceptor or night fighter. So it has a crew of maybe three or four. Okay, and it was also equipped with radar. Okay, so it can fly long hours and long range, twice the range of Spitfire. Okay, 800 miles, and it's also slightly faster than it. But it, it only works at night. During the daytime, I think it works as a long range interceptor, something like that. But I don't know. Okay, why do you need a long range interceptor? Um, for Britain, perhaps this is the time, possibly that the Britain need to also attack the German in France. I don't know. Okay, but German later on improved, came up with a new design in 1942, which is a lot faster than the ME-109E. I think it's also very beautiful plane. It's a Focke-Wulf 190 E3. It has also more than twice the range of ME-109. Okay, that's a very good airplane. Okay, uh, to counter the Spitfire. But then the American later in 1943 joined the war in Europe. Uh, it has an extremely huge plane. I think it's perhaps the largest single-engine fighter in the world during that time. Not only it is huge, and if you look at it, it looks like a jug, and yeah, they call it jug. P-47 Thunderbolt has a speed of about 426 miles per hour. Okay, with a range of almost about 100 miles short of Mosquito. Okay, not surprised because it's almost as big, same size. Okay, but it's not maneuverable. Okay, but it can use its long range capability to escort bombers to attack Germany. I think Mosquito had also seen a similar role as an escort to the bomber aircraft. Okay, but none can match the performance of P-51 Mustang. Not only it is the fastest uh, fighter aircraft during the time, but also with the longest range. So it can escort the bombers or all the way, okay, all the way to inside the heart of Germany. Okay, so it's also very maneuverable. It's just slightly bigger than a Focke-Wulf and the Spitfire, but it also has a good range. Now, this is thanks to its laminar flow wing. Okay, it's another technology. If you learn aerodynamics later on, you will find that the laminar flow wing has a very good lift to drag ratio or aerodynamic efficiency. Okay, so it's another milestone. Okay, to the advancement in technology during the Second World War. Uh, if you notice the nose between Spitfire and Mustang is almost the same, uh, suggesting that it is having the same engine. Yes, they are having the same engine. Okay. Uh, it's a Merlin engine. They call it Merlin. Okay. I have no idea what it is. Alright. The horsepower may be around 1,500 to 2,000 horsepower, something like that. But despite the same engine, okay, Mustang has a lot more range uh, than the Spitfire. Okay, well, not to mention the first. Okay, the last one is I think is different kind of fighter aircraft compared to the rest. This is ME or Messerschmitt 262. So Messerschmitt previously the German of Luftwaffe operated the 109. It skipped the improvement over 109 and it had moved on to the jet. So the first operational jet aircraft in the world was the ME 262, and this is the time where jet engine at its infancy, the early time of jet engine. Despite good performance in terms of speed, which is about 100 miles per hour faster than the fastest airplane during the time, which is a Mustang, the jet engine is not that efficient. Okay. So it managed to have a range of only 420 miles. Okay. It's still better than many fighters during the time, but it's also more complex, not very maneuverable, but in terms of performance, it's not bad. Okay. and Me-262 is used during the war as an interceptor to intercept bombers, okay, Allied bombers, and to intercept the P-51 Mustang, the fighters, and also the Jugs, okay, along with the Focke-Wulf 190A. Sadly, the production of its first jet engine is hampered by lack of uh, lack of spare parts, perhaps, or maybe not so uh, because the facility to fabricate the aircraft was being bombed by the Allied forces. So I think the German only produces around 1,000 of this, 1,000 to 2,000 of this. You cannot fight with 1,000 jet when your enemy has had around 10,000 fighters. So it failed to turn the tide of war, and later on Germany surrendered. Uh, but this aircraft is significant. It holds some key features, key technologies during the time that later on being developed by Americans, British, and the Russians. For example, swept wing. Okay, this is the first operational aircraft with swept wing technology. Number one, okay, swept wing enhances the performance of aircraft at high subsonic and supersonic. That's the first one. The second one is the propulsion system, the jet engine. Not to not to say that the British and American did not have jet engine during that time. They had, but the jet engine was more, I think, primitive or maybe not as good as the German ones. Why? Because the British jet engine pioneered by Sir Frank Whittle was using a centrifugal compressor, whereas the German, the engine developed by BMW and von Ohain in the 1940s were using um, axial flow uh, turbojet, axial flow compressor, which is more suitable at high altitude and high speed. Later on, this also being used by the Soviet and Rolls-Royce. So basically, everybody got a piece of this airplane. Okay, went back to their home country and tried to develop their own jet based on the mission service design. Okay, now this is the first part of the case study discussion. So I know this part is actually not that important, but I have to look for you actually for you to look at it to have some idea how the design. Basically, an aircraft is designed basically around its performance uh, untuk basically untuk mencapai tujuan performance dia, and how the design changes as the performance requirement or performance specification is increased. Okay, I'll continue in the next part later. Thank you.